Hey there, welcome one and all to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. We are back at it again on the Xerox server, and I am one of your hosts of the day, Morski, also known as Morski, and welcome to. Oh, I know you. Uh, I am joined here by the very wonderful and fantastic friend of mine. Which do you want to come and say hi?
I do want to come and say hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Whis, and for those following at home, yes, indeed, this is day 5 of Korvits week. I'm starting 2024 off correctly. This is my
Clearly.
my 5th FPS of the year. Oh dear! If I could get to the end of the week, it'll be great. And people are already yelling at me, but that's fine. That's fine.
Manifesting. Oh, uh, and I should probably note on today's day I am playing my little lad Hugh. And who might you be playing with?
Well, because it's Korvits week, I'm playing Korvits.
Yeah. Which I guess going off of that, we are of course in Halloween Town with how events are currently, and on Hugh's end, uh, I guess the best way for me to put it is he is having his Animal Crossing period in his life. It's actually, the horrors aside, he's actually having a pretty chill time in Halloween Town. Has
Animal
been
Crossing moment,
visiting.
oh my god.
I mean, like, okay, I can't speak for some people here, but Hugh at least has been having a pretty chill time. Like, okay, the sudden move was worrying, but like he and Martin are safe, Decimal is safe, Craigery and Lynn are safe, at least for now. He's really hoping this stays. But I mean, he's been visiting the library, he's been continuing to study, he's been going to the university, possibly coming and saying hi to Ro for wizard moments. So, it's pretty chill. He gets to visit his loved ones, though on today's particular day, uh well, people are busy. So it seems like as good a time as any for him to maybe sit down and read a little bit. Just vibe a bit with Kara before he goes and maybe says hi to Krageria and Matthias.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he can and then he can come bother his brothers, but for the moment at least, he is chilling a bit on a bench and reading.
Cool. Alright. Now, what is the funniest way to do this? I think the funniest way to do this is to get my tea out of the way of my dice tower, because that...
Might not be a bad idea, yeah.
because, we don't want things interfering with the clicky clacks, with the clicky clacky math rocks, because we are going to roll a clicky clacky math rocks for the pumpkin man.
Oh ho.
We're going to roll him a Persepi.
Nice.
15. Alright, that is quite a good Persepi on the dice. And you have a... Oh yeah, good grief. That is the commentary zone. We don't want to roll there. Nope. Oh, no, I was right. Okay, so that makes it a 26.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like when you're almost a level 40 deity, your skills
Yeah.
are bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah, they would be. They would be. Yeah, let me put it this way. You definitely don't have any issue spotting the kid chilling in a bench. Maybe it's something about the fact that you can probably tell that this kid isn't native to Halloween Town. Uh, if anything, his design might remind you a little bit of certain friends of yours disguise, and you can spy the little swallow's tail he has, kind of just gleaming just a little bit in the low light.
Yeah. Um, just because I like rolling dice, I'm going to see how long it takes for him to register all of this with a history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So that was low on the dice, but your history modifier is a plus 15, so it's a 19. Alright, so Hugh is sitting on this bench reading this book, having a grand old vibe, and it's called quite nice. And there is a very tall individual. Whether or not Hugh takes any notice, you can either roll or just decide.
Yeah, okay, give me one moment. Hugh, what's your percepi? That's a +7 to perception. How deep in the book? Hugh's deep in the book.
Cool.
His ass is not looking.
Well, that's completely fair. And honestly, Korvits isn't 100% paying attention either because he's, going somewhere with a goal in mind. He's gone, oh yeah, that kid doesn't look like he's from here. And then gets maybe 3 steps past Hugh and then just sort of stops, looks back, and then sort of internally is going, hey, I recognize that style.
just maybe. Just maybe. Might bear a bit of a resemblance to, Riina's disguise as a mortal. Just maybe.
Hey, I think I know you.
Like, a pause. Hugh looks up, looks to see if anyone else is around, and just, like, points at himself. Like, who, me?
This person is so fucking tall, Hugh.
He is. He's already used to having to crane his, like, head up when talking to, like, 80% of his family. But this guy takes the cake.
Yeah, Korvits is 8'11".
Yeah, Hugh's 4'7".
This is
So,
like a crakery taller than you or something.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Oh dear, yeah. So he points at himself. He's like, "B."
Yeah, you. You wouldn't happen to be, from Yeast, would you?
Maybe. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, I can understand you being, a little cautious, that's fine. But, it's neither of those things. It is a neutral thing.
Oh, okay.
Let me just back it up. This is completely out of left field, I realize that. But I think I may be familiar with one of your local deities. A friend of mine, actually, you might say.
Okay. It's a question for you, Whis. How well known is Korvits as, like, a deity in Halloween Town? And how likely is Lynn to talk about Korvits?
If I wasn't sure that she had just gone to bed, I'd jump into V-Wild's DMs and ask. But I know she is in Sleepy Town.
Fair. Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. Like, I think she probably maybe might have mentioned Korvits, though not in every capacity. Like, I'd be very surprised if he wasn't on the wall. He's definitely on the wall.
Yeah.
So you might want to roll a history or something, because Korvits he's been in Halloween Town for over a year now. And so it's kind of hard to miss a nearly 9-foot tall pumpkin guy. Especially one who hangs out at the manor with Jacques and Asclepius and all that.
True. I think the question here is, would Hugh recognize him as a deity, or just, oh yeah, this is a guy my friends know? Well, that's a 20.
Alright, dirty 20 on a history. Maybe roll a religion as well.
Okay, cool. Fun fact, Hugh doesn't have proficiency in religion, despite him knowing, like, more than 10 deities.
Well, that's just Dankwell for you, I guess.
Don't worry about it. Anyways, that's a 16.
Alright, so with a dirty 20 on history, Hugh has definitely heard of Korvits Allhallows before. He's on the wall in Network. He has been around town for at least a year.
Yeah.
And like he's been seen in the company of Jacques and Asclepius and Lynn and Gibbs and just generally around quite a bit.
Okay.
He hangs out when he's not with any of the aforementioned people. He hangs out in the pumpkin patch quite a lot. So like there is a 50% chance, I'd say, of you walking past the pumpkin patch and seeing this guy sitting on the curly hill there.
Funnily enough, I think if that has been the case, Hugh might have even waved at him on occasion, just like, oh, funny guy in the field. Hi, bye.
Maybe. For the 16 religion, it might take Hugh a little bit. Because while Korvits is not shy about saying to people that he is a god, he has not yet figured out how to make everybody know this at the same time without sounding like an asshole.
Which is very fair of him. I think actually I got a funnier way how to go about it. Hugh's immediate thought is, oh, okay, this is a thing. This is a thing. This is a person like Lindo's, and I've seen him around others, like friend of a friend, friend of a friend. Then there's just like a beat before Hugh points at Korvits and goes, wait, are you the new friend Riina's been talking about?
Oh, she's been talking about me? I had no idea. Well, yes, I am in fact friends with Riina. She whooped my butt in a flying race, which is dreadfully embarrassing. Which, won't happen again, I can assure you.
Hugh, honestly, like, Hugh just, like, at the whooped my butt in a flying race, like, Hugh nods knowingly, and then, like, Korvits says, it won't happen again. Hugh is pressing X to doubt. He isn't saying anything, but his expression says it all.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me back this up. We'll go with some manners and some introductions. I believe your name is Hugh. I'm Korvits Allhallows. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Like, there's a pause from Hugh at seeing how tall Korvits is, and he, like, closes his book, puts it in his jacket hammer space, climbs onto this bench, and then just kind of offers a hand for a handshake.
Oh,
Nice
dear.
to meet you. You'd be right. I'm Hugh Script. Yeah. Rina's pretty much family, so,
I did get that impression from her, yes.
And he will shake the hand with his right hand. He doesn't use his left.
fair.
Yes, she did mention that you spent a lot of time here. As a matter of fact, it's because of you spending time here that she came here at all.
Oh, yeah, I remember when she visited a little while back. Oh, so that's why she looked so smug. But yeah, it's nice to meet you properly.
Oh, yeah, she would. I had to purchase her cake after that, but, the cake went down very well, which is not a surprise because it is from the Ghost Host, which makes excellent cake. So it's my default. Oh, I owe people cake. I keep betting cake.
I mean, cake is very good. You can't deny that cake is a very nice treat.
Oh, I cannot deny it at all. And as a matter of fact, the Ghost Host gets a lot of money out of me if I'm going to keep betting cake. Because I bet cake and then I lose, so I have to treat people to cake. Or I just treat people to cake. Either or, it seems to be a thing. That's 2 gods I've bought cake at that cafe now, actually. 3 times and then it's going to be a thing.
Oh, Well, I guess you'll just need to be careful then, huh?
Oh,
Oh,
well,
eh.
almost all of the gods I've met have been either a delight. Well, okay, let me put it this way. I've met 4 other gods apart from myself.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them have been an absolute delight. One of them I am neutral on, and the other one I don't wish to see again for the rest of my natural life, which, is a very long time.
Yep, that's fair. Understandable. Have a nice. For
Yes.
fun. For fun. Does Korvits want to roll an insight on Hugh?
I would love to roll an insight on Hugh. Insight happens to be one of Corvit's best stats.
Insight is very fun, isn't it?
It's
And
not.
I
It
don't
isn't
know.
his best, but it is one of his best, and
Mm-hmm.
because of who and what he is, it is just fun to roll things with modifiers like this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Like the way Hugh says that is said in this sort of way of, yeah, I get that. Like he personally gets that. You're suddenly getting the impression that this kid might have met a few deities. Some meetings have been better and worse than others. You're you're getting just a feeling.
I feel as though this experience of mine with some gods that I've met being absolute delights and some gods that I've met being, just falling short of charming, shall we say. I feel as though this is not a unique experience to me. Would you agree?
I mean, yeah. Pro tip: if you ever meet someone called Rikishi, um, okay, well maybe not punch in the face, but they are not a nice person. You don't want to stick around them, okay? They're really mean.
Okay. Good to good to have that knowledge under my belt. Rikishi, right?
Yeah.
I am going to
But
roll him a dice to see if he has any idea who that is. I'm going to do it as a
uh-huh,
religion.
sure.
Oh, okay. I love this. You're a god and your religion modifier is one of your worst ones.
Lamau, him handshake Hugh, I guess.
I mean, it's still a +9. And that was a
Yeah.
16 on the dice. Now, I'm pretty sure I know who Rikishi is. That's one of the
Yeah.
fates, right?
Yeah, that's the fate of ruin. Is RJ awake? I think RJ's awake. I feel like since this would be an RJ question,
Yeah,
but
whether or not they go by that would have gone by that name 200 years ago if they did at all.
well, I mean possibly yes, because here's the thing: Riina met Rikishi like personally, previously, and she's chased the M with a stick. So I can't say. I don't remember whether RJ said how long ago that was. I don't remember us putting a specific time, but Rikishi's been around for a while. Even just potentially not in their current, well, in their current state. So
I think lacking the direct information, or whether or not it's within, well, was within the 22 years that Korvits was alive before he disappeared. I'm going to err on the side of caution here and have it maybe click for him later.
yeah. This is just a piece of information Korvits has now to avoid if he ever comes across this guy.
I mean, all advice is good advice, if you look at it from the right angle, I suppose, but there are so many deities. I'm sure not all of them could be good people. Like, even before I met some of them, I would be sure that some of them have gotta be assholes. I mean, I'm sure there are gods of shit things, as much as there are gods of, good stuff. Like, I've met the god of childhood, if you know any children, highly recommend spreading the word of Daisy's great fun.
Oh, okay. Um, that's good to know then. I guess if you want my advice with the people I'd met, like in the end it's like meeting people. Some are nice and some are decent, some are not so nice. Uh and some you need to beat with a stick. So
That's the observation I've made as well. And,
mhm.
which I find actually quite curious because, I was talking to Asclepius not that long ago, and it gave me the impression that this is a unique Ankwell thing, but I was actually thinking about it just now, and the two gods that I've met who have been 100% excellent individuals were both real kind rather than Toonkind gods, so, though, having said that, Riina has lived in Ankwell for quite some time, and didn't really get into where Daisy was from, but they're definitely of the real kind variety. So maybe it's just a thing. When you get here, you get oodles of personality.
Maybe. Like, at least from what Rina's told me about her kind, they're very person-like in the end. Because she has mentioned she has cousins that live in Einquell too, but she has cousins that live outside of Einquell. But at least in her and her twins' case, uh, they just liked Einquell, so they set up shop here uh, for a pretty long time.
I mean, it makes sense. Ankwell is pretty spectacular. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's always been like that. Like it's definitely different now, and maybe over the course of the next 12 months, I'll see a little bit more of it, but not in any hurry for that. But
Fair.
what I've seen so far is quite nice. I mean, Halloween Town is just as wonderful as it ever has been. Possibly more wonderful. Actually, it is more wonderful because there are so many interesting people here.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Halloween
every
Town
day.
really is neat. Yeah, like, well, I guess I'm technically not a permanent resident, or I recently moved here with my brothers. But it's been really nice staying here, and like I already visited previously, to come visit Lynn, and she loves living here a lot. And I know my own stay's been very nice. So
We've got the good vibes. It's quite nice.
mhm.
And I
Yeah.
suppose there is a certain amount of comfort knowing that the entire town would mobilize quite in a people who live here, and literally the town would mobilize to protect everybody in this town. So it's a comforting feeling knowing you've got basically an army ready to stand up and protect you should the onslaughts come for you. So
Yeah.
probably no
Would
safer
you like
place
to
in
roll
all of
ins?
Anquo.
Oh man, would you like to roll insight on Hugh again for funsies?
For funsies, why not? Da 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 da. What is it? 28.
By the way, please note that the image I haven't. Oh my goodness, yeah, 40. But please know that the image in my head, as well as that he was still standing on the bench while like looking up to talk to Korvits.
Yes.
um, but like it's a good place to feel safe. Like it's a place that can definitely mobilize. Like Hugh does seem a little bit sad. You feel there's some weight behind that. Like, did Hugh remind me? Did Hugh mention why he moved to Halloween Town specifically?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, you talking about one of the like it being one of the safer places around that it mobilizes quickly. Yeah, something you get the impression that maybe the reason he has moved here for the moment is to stay safe. So
Hmm.
just maybe.
Fair enough.
Considering you got a pecking 40, you just kind of catch that from Hugh's
Yeah.
how Hugh holds himself and while he doesn't say anything, there is like a bit of a reaction to Hugh saying that. So as for what Hugh actually says, uh yeah, here's hoping it all goes okay.
Korvits is going to sort of lean down to further reduce the height gap between himself and Hugh, and is sort of giving Hugh a bit of a look from slightly closer.
Hey now, I'm not about to make assumptions on the kind of things that you've gone through, but there's a reason for it, you know.
Apologies, Whis, you cut out at the end there.
Discord, please.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think Hugh is like going to pause and like he will actually sit back down on the bench and will like pat the pat the other end of the bench like you come sit down too.
That does make the height difference significantly less obvious. That's great. Korvits is going to straighten up, kind of put his hands on his hips a little bit and look at Hugh, and then he's going to pivot on one heel, and I want you to picture the way that he descends into this bench, kind of like in Nightmare Before Christmas, in Jack's Obsession, where he's roaming around his library, and he does this sort of dramatic flop sit onto the bottom rung of his library ladder. That's kind of the vibe that Korvits has about him. Like he's not as skinny as Jack or Jacques. It's not this as it doesn't have that spider-like grace to it, but it is still a very deliberate, overly dramatic movement where he's in full control, but it's also a controlled fall. And he just sort of sits there, props one arm against the arm of the bench.
This is probably the best place to have be your refuge. I mean, it's always been that kind of a place.
Yeah, it's well, you hang a lot with Lynn and Jackson Asclepius, right? If you know anything about the Thrall, they're kind of why March and I had to move over here and why Decimal now comes here to visit us.
I genuinely think this is the first time anyone has mentioned the Thrall specifically to him.
Oops.
Because I know that they have said that shit's going on. There is a lot of shit going on. And there is a dedicated war room, but he has not pried into that because he knows how plot lines work. But this is the first time anyone's mentioned the Thrall. Oh. Oh dear, the Thrall has enough longevity that he might have heard of them. Oh dear.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll this on Dis. Yes, I am gonna roll it on Dis. You're not allowed to get a nat 20 on this, Korvit.
Lamau?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Did he get it at 20 twice?
How the fuck did you get 2 20s in a row! Jesus fucking
Wow.
Christ!
Do we need to add Hex? Do we need to add Hex?
Yeah, I think we need to add Hex. What the fuck? Oh, well.
You should probably write down what that roll was so Hex can see it.
Yeah, that makes it a... What's your history? Plus 15. That makes it a... 35. Goodness, golly gosh. Alright.
So I guess in the meantime, we'll see whether Hex comes over.
I am just fucking astounded.
You know, I was expecting this to be mostly fluff, and it has been like fluff, but we're getting accidental lore too.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. So I think. Okay.
See, I guess the question is, what does your funny not so little guy know about the throw then? If that was an at 20. Hex, please come here.
All right.
Please come here soon.
In the interim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll him a deception,
A deception, you say?
so that he can at least put off reacting to that.
I hope it's not
Stay on
something
the thing.
stupid. I kind of hope Hugh has a chance of beating it.
Maybe?
Okay. Oh, well, I can still try. Hugh has advantage on his insight rolls.
Give it a red hot go.
Dang it. No, not high enough.
No.
Hi, Hex. We are so sorry. We are so sorry.
Oh dear.
This is a brief pause as we update people.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So, oops.
Whoopsie poopsie.
Oops.
Honest to goodness, wasn't expecting a nat 20. Least of all, 2!
A disadvantage too.
That's definitely a first. Oh dear.
Funnily enough, I have seen this before with Lynn.
That'll do.
Oh man. I wonder. Oh man, if Korvits finds out about the nickels this way.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. So Korvits sort of frowns a bit, and then he tilts his head to the side.
The thrall.
Yeah, well, I guess there's something of an information collector and trader, but previously we've had encounters with them. Technically, I've been kidnapped by them before. Um,
Whoa, okay, what? The thrall. The
oh,
thrall.
um, do you know, like, have you met them before?
I've not met them. They're not the kind of individual that I... You gotta understand this, Hugh. I was a king, and quite an upstanding royal at that. And the thrall is somebody who I knew of. Not some. I didn't, use their services myself. They're. What's a good way to put it? Shady?
Yeah,
But
they
weren't
are.
like. They weren't, an antagonist. They were just sort of there. Good for tying up plot points or whatever. A traitor finding lost stuff or forbidden stuff. It's kind of one of those, what you call it? Unwritten things. With your protagonists could go to them if they were desperate, but like they weren't. They kidnapped you?
Um, Hugh voice. The answer, by the way, is yes. So they kidnapped me for my father. It was a whole thing. Don't worry, I'm okay now. Um, but I'm technically not the first person they kidnapped either. Maybe it's better if I don't state that part because it's personal to their stories, but like my uh my two of my brothers were kidnapped as well, and some other people who are here currently in Halloween Town. It's
I am going to disregard his deception roll from before.
cool.
There is unfiltered surprise on this pumpkin's face right now.
I am so sorry we accidentally got into the horrors.
But that was never anything that I remember hearing that they would do. They were never aggressive. They just were. The fucking thrall kidnapped you and your brothers and other people.
Yeah, it might be a good idea if you talk to Lynn about it. She has proper case files and documentation.
Of course she
Thankfully, not all of
does. Of course she does.
Oh man. You thinking on information he has. Not all of my brothers were taken, thankfully. But, March is okay. He didn't have to go through that. But, I guess in my case at least, it technically was more of a business deal. The problem
Well, I
got
mean,
resolved in the end. And I'm okay and here and still myself, so it's fine. That decimal caught me, so I'm okay. But
Hugh, that is such an unencouraging sentence. This does nothing to make me feel a little bit more reassured. I mean, on the one hand, if someone had gone to the thrall and said, "Hey, I lost this thing, and the thing happened to be a whole ass person," Yeah, I guess maybe that would be what they would do, but that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That wasn't how they were before.
Well, I can't talk about how they were before, but right now, I guess a good way to put it is they have kind of a grudge against, well, they have kind of a grudge against Halloween Town, or it was some individuals in Halloween Town. But, a little, well, so a bunch of our loved ones live here in Halloween Town, right? Actually, I share a flat with March, and Esmo often comes to visit us. That flat used to be in Toontown, and if you know of Memoir, uh, he
Haven't
has a
met them
family.
yet.
Okay, well, he had well, he has a family member who had lived outside Halloween Town, and well, he was attacked. So after that event, uh, Decimal came over and warned us, and it was decided that we'd come to Halloween Town for the moment. Just while these things are happening, it would be safer. So,
That's... Huh. Alright, well, I'll put it on the list of things to talk to Lynn and Jacques about. Good grief.
yeah. Hugh is internally, well, like, on one end, sorry you had to find out this way. On the other end, better that you're finding out, you know?
Korvits, he's kind of got one hand up to his face, and he's not looking at Hugh at all now. He's just going, I have this picture in my brain of what I remember this individual to have been like 180 years ago, and now you are telling me that they are a major antagonist? I'm sorry!
Oh, man. Yeah, like, Hugh hasn't gone too much into detail of what happened to him, but like from what you are hearing, I'm sure it's not painting a great picture of what would have happened to Hugh.
No.
So,
Yeah, he is drawing some uncomfortable connections. Unfortunately for him, because he's like, is this the same antagonist that did things to Gibbs? Fuck.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, Hugh doesn't even need to remotely roll insight on Korvits. He's kind of just been shocked straight to his core now.
there is a pause, and Hugh like gives Korvits a pat on the knee.
It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
He says,
maybe
like a
need
lying liar.
moment? Do you maybe need a moment? Cause I think I give you a lot of information now.
That's no, it's fine. Yes, that was one
Hugh is
hell
giving
of a
you the
bombshell.
look of, is it? I'm sorry, but Hugh is giving you the look of, is it really?
Don't look at me like that. It's fine. It's 100% okay.
I'll tattle on Riina.
And what dare I ask would Riina be able to do? She has no power over me. I'll just beat her in a race and then she can buy me cake.
Hugh just looks at you, crosses his arms, and raises an eyebrow. He doesn't need to say anything.
Don't give me that look. I mean it. We're peers now. Huh? She and I, we're peers, we're friends even. Like, she won't do anything to me. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Well,
fine.
I mean, she won't be mean to you. But because you're friends, that just gives her extra reason to come over and actually make sure you're okay. So if you incur her wrath on you as a friend, that's on you.
No, genuinely, it'll be fine. I have more information than I was expecting to have out of this conversation, and got some people to talk to. But if this is what I think it is, it's not something I can poke my nose into.
Mm-hmm.
I've already done what I
Just
can.
that's okay. That's more than okay. But just make sure not to hold it onto yourself or on your own, yeah? I can also check in with Lynn to make sure you actually talked.
Ah, well, you're welcome to do whatever you like, Hugh. It's, it's a shock, actually, but, no, like I said, I've done what I can. I've provided the support that I can provide. I've only been a deity for 12 months here, Hugh, so my capacity is, limited. And
Oh,
while I'm sure, waltzing up to the thrall and, introducing myself would be a possibility, I don't know that it'd help any.
probably not. Like,
I know
um,
how plot lines work. And I'm not in this one.
just make sure to stay safe as well, okay? Like, plot and all, but also, sure, you're a deity, but,
Kid,
you're
if
still
I
a
can get
person, you
into
know?
if I could get into worse strife than having a literal god of death shove his blade into between my bones and my ribs, I'd be very surprised. Surely. The only way to go from here is up.
Don't jinx yourself, okay? There's a lot out there.
Oh, that's
This is
true.
said from experience. This is said from experience.
Oh dear, are you a protagonist?
Hugh opens his mouth, raises a finger, closes it. Well, I don't
You were
think
half
I
a second
am,
away
but
from denying it. Ah, there's the denial. No,
look,
no, no,
look,
no, no,
look.
no.
I mean, I don't think I am, but like everyone else says I am. Look, I don't control it that sometimes when I go into town, things just happen. It's not my fault the cabbage stall exploded, okay? That was someone else. I just passed by.
Well, one of the fun things with being a protagonist is when you're in the right place at the wrong time or the wrong place at the right time. That's all it takes sometimes to go from being a background character to being in the forefront, in the spotlight. And being a protagonist is, well, comes with its own set of advantages and disadvantages, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, but I'm still just living my life. And like, well, there have been stressful times. And really, I just like my family to be safe through all of this. But, I have a family, and it'll be okay.
Now that is a reassurance that I can believe.
I guess as well. Like, so I suppose you said, like, sure, you said you're a deity or whatever, but, you are also a friend of Lynn's, and also a friend of the spooky, so, like, and a friend of Riina. Uh, so do you want to be friends?
I think this is an acceptable suggestion. I would be delighted. I would be absolutely delighted to call you a friend, Hugh. We would have to hang out and stuff. What a shame that would be. I can. I don't think Riina told me much about what kind of things you get up to. What kind of things do you use to keep your time, kid?
Well, Hugh now raises a finger and goes, "So, did you know? So I don't know how much Korvits knows about wizardry, but guess what? This is a little nerd. You I'm not going to put myself through that, but I think Hugh just starts rambling about the most recent spell he's trying to learn or has been practicing. Then it segues into immolation. Before it segues into something like lightning bolts.
Immolation. Oh, let me just quickly look that spell up. Hold on.
I can tell you what it is. It is 5th level. It is evocation. It's a pretty dang good spell.
You have mentioned something that is directly within his area of expertise. He does not have that spell, but he has... Oh, that's because I gave him Teleportation Circle instead for his 5th level. Yeah, that's why. As soon as you start talking about that spell, he's going to sit up a little straighter and go,
Oh, you are an appreciator of the fine arts of pyromancy.
Well, I mean, so I'm an evocation wizard, yeah? So I guess I have something of an affinity. I am best with electricity magic, but I'd like to think I'm pretty okay at fire magic too. And Hugh has like the Ghibli sparkles as he puts his hands on his hips as he says this.
Oh, wow, absolutely. I mean, when one considers the utility of fire magic and like lightning magic, you know, I could take it or leave it. It's never been something I've been particularly good at. Fire magic, on the other hand.
and he's gonna snap his fingers, and then he's got several little sparks of fire coming off his fingertips. This is on his left hand, so the one that isn't bone. He's just got all these little bits of... I've just realized he has heat metal, and his fingertips on his left hand are now made of steel. I love that.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Log that away for later. Sorry. Got distracted there. Yeah, like, so he's got little bits of fire flicking off of his fingers. And he's just sort of grinning. And as you look at him, Hugh, the lights of his eyes, it actually does flicker as if there were a candle inside that pumpkin head.
Oh, that's neat. Like, Hugh on his end nods rapidly, and then Hugh just kind of raises a hand up, and then there's like a little shower of electricity sparks.
Now that's the kind of showmanship that we like with evocation magic. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm not sure necessarily whether or not I am of particular use with your catalog, because I understand that wizards like to write shit down. But if you ever feel like sparring, if you need someone to practice with, particularly for fire magic, because that literally doesn't hurt me, but if you need a practice buddy, I would be all for that, because I really enjoy that. It's good fun. And I make a pretty good target. I'm hard to miss.
Sure. And like, hey, I know you said lightning magic is a bit harder for you, but it doesn't hurt to practice. So I can try giving you some tricks on lightning magic to we can trade our magic tricks, okay?
Sure. Sounds fine to me. I mean, I have quite a lot of different spells under my belt, and whether or not I can learn new ones the same way that you can is unknown to me. But hey, doesn't hurt to give it a try, right? And you know, it's
Yeah,
always
sure.
good to hang out with other kinds of spellcasters. I am mentoring one of my warlocks because she, well, needs to start from scratch. So
Oh,
we're going from the big bottom. We're starting with cantrips. So that
oh,
maybe she
that's
won't just
fair.
cast fireball on accident again.
Oh, yeah, that's Fireball can do a lot. A
It it
beat.
it
Like no, no,
can.
like there's a beat, and then she says, "I don't know if you've met Gregory, but do you know one time he accidentally let loose a fireball in a shop full of wild magic?"
Oh, it was what? Okay, so I have met Gregor. He did not mention this to me, but Asclepius
Oh,
did tell me I should ask either him or Lynn about this fireball. I did not realize wild magic was involved. Excellent,
mm-hmm.
excellent.
You should ask him, and also please tell me what his reaction is when you ask him.
Oh, yes. Absolutely, I will pass that along. Any
Mm-hmm.
stories about fire, I'm always down to hear. I, I have never used the most powerful fire spell that I know. And, I have yet to have a opportunity to use it. But,
Mm-hmm.
all going well, I never will. Because
Yeah.
if I need to pull out the big guns, shit's real bad. So
Yeah.
I'll just
Nah,
keep it
I
in my
get
back
you.
pocket and hope that it stays there.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like that for Riina too. But here's manifesting that things will be okay. But I guess in the meantime, so you said you have a new warlock, right? And you're trying to teach them like cantrips for a starter. Maybe firebolt. If they have an affinity to fire like you have, cause that's something I can help with actually.
Oh yeah, I'm well familiar with Firebolt. That was probably one of the spells I've had my entire life. But we're going with the things that don't actually cause damage first. You know, prestidigitation, mending,
Oh
dancing
yeah.
lights, all those nice little
Mhm.
calm ones. Because okay, so get this. She's a
Mhm.
toddler.
Oh, oh, yeah, maybe. Actually, you know what might be a good idea? What about light? And like Hugh will even like click his fingers and like pull like a book he pulled out is now glowing gently.
Oh yes, no, we've got that one on the to-do list as well.
Mhm.
And Korvits just sort of gives the bench, like the arm of the bench, a pat, and now the whole bench is glowing. Because he just cast it as well.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And let's see. So I'm not as familiar with warlock spells, but I mean I can talk to Gregory about what he knows, and I can talk to March. I know there is some overlap in the spells wizards and warlocks can know. I don't know, this is a first level spell, but I think warlocks can learn healing elixir as well, right? That might be a nice spell to know.
I am going to roll him an arcana to know because
Mhm.
he's not a warlock. That is. What is your arcana? By virtue of it being a plus 15, that 3 doesn't suck. Alright.
I mean, it's
Healing.
a first level spell. If Korvits looks a little bit lost, he will happily explain and even show his own casting of healing elixir, and there is now like a little star-shaped cookie that is just gently glowing, just a little bit in Hugh's hands. He will pass it to Korvits.
Oh. Hmm.
Um, it can, well, as always, it depends on the person's magic, right? But say I learned this one to help Decimal, so that someone in our house has some kind of healing magic, right? Because admittedly, as a wizard, my magic really doesn't tend towards healing things, but I could learn healing elixir, so I did.
Hmm. That's definitely a good thing to keep in the back pocket. I like the look of that.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, always good for kids to be able to have some capacity to look after themselves as well. Because my capacity for healing is regrettably quite minimal. Not non-existent, but minimal. Alrighty.
I know, like, Riina and Faye are pretty good at healing, but, well, Riina is better with, like, more radiant kinds of casting. It's Faye who really kicks at set healing, but both of them have the capacity for it, while, my magic doesn't, like, tend to go that way as much. I
Well.
am better with elemental magic in the end, but
Well, everyone's got their specialties, and there's no shame in that.
mm-hmm.
Alright, well, you've given me some things to think about for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's good then. Hey, I am sure I can help give you more things to think about later too.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that in the slightest. I should probably mosey on my way. I was on my way to the Lycan compound. I've got some queries for them. But we'll have to chat some more. And like I said, if you want a target to fling some of your magic at, I'm your guy.
Yeah, sure. And well, you mentioned cakes, right? And the Ghost Host Cafe. It is really nice going there, so maybe we can go there sometime.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind adding to the list the people that I take there and enjoy all of the various fruits of their labor. That's fine. I'm a regular there these days. They know me quite well. They were a big help on Halloween too. All right. Well,
Mm-hmm. It's a deal then.
And he's gonna stand up and brush off his pants a little bit, put his hands on his hips.
well, Hugh, it's been an absolute pleasure. I will catch you later because I feel as though if you're stuck in town because of all of this plot, I should be able to find you. Carter will help if I'm desperate. I'm sure.
Thank you. And good luck out there yourself, okay?
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully. Alright, well, I shouldn't need it. But I appreciate it nonetheless. See ya!
See ya. Bye-bye. Uh, like, Hugh gives you a resolute nod, and then, you actually see the kid settle down on the bench, stretch, and, oh, hey, they're different colors, but those wings that, the kid got now, they look a little bit familiar to someone else's wings.
Oh dear, oh dear. Korvits just gonna pause because I think Hugh didn't have his wings out before. He's gonna pause.
Hold the phone! I knew you had a tail, but the wings is news.
Oh,
You! Sure, you've been
yeah.
holding out on me.
Oh yeah, I can hide them. Like, I think pretty soon I will be heading off too, so I'm gonna fly a little bit.
Oh, gotta get your practice in. I see, I see. You look like you've got some of those, swallow wings just like Riina does.
Oh, yeah, I have them 'cause of her.
Ah, makes sense. Alright, well, we can add that to our list of things that we can get up to in the future because, as I said, I'm not gonna lose to Riina again, so, you know, gotta
I
get the practice in against you swift-wing type people.
well, I wish you luck.
Now that is
May
something
have a
I
bit of
will need to luck in. Alright, I'll catch you later, Hugh.
See ya.
And he is now, instead of walking like his original plan, he is going to spread his wings, which have kind of come out of the cape that he kind of wears now. And he's just going to take off. And he's not slow. He's quite fast. But gosh, that's a big gust of wind on the downstroke of his wings. Because they're
yeah,
big.
they must be massive.
Oh, they're
yeah.
huge. Yeah, they're humongous because, like, they're in proportion to him, and he is enormous.
They're probably bigger than Hugh is, even with his wings spread out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, just like Hugh getting a better hold of his book so he doesn't lose it. Oh, but that was a great yeah.
That was wonderful. It had everything. It had soft.
Yeah.
It had what the fuck. It had lore.
We had the horrors just briefly, and we even had soft moments.
Oh, love that. Love that.
I will casually add Korvits both onto the list of deities that Hugh now knows, and also onto people that Hugh will be bothering while in Halloween Town, just casually.
Lol. Love that. All right. Well, should we say goodbye to our audience then?
Oh yes, to everyone who will listen in the future, you are awesome. Bye bye.
Bye.